Everybody, welcome back to E20 Zone TV. First live for a little while. I done one the other week with Lucas, pissed out me tree. That was very, very good. But now I'm back sober, on board with the new signings that we look like we could be potentially getting. Before I get started, smash a like on the video, comment in the comment section below what your thoughts are on West Ham currently right now. And yeah, everything is all good. Come back to Dagenham the other day, and I get hit with crime, and lots of fucking crime. You know what I mean? These ends are a shithole now, man, honestly. And I am such in a place where do I stay or do I go? That is the $1 million question. Now, for me, I've always grown up in Dagenham. Yeah, that's my ends. That's where I'm from. I do love this place, but I've got to grow up eventually and realise that sometimes in life, James, you need to get out of this fucking place because it is a mental place. But West Ham, Luis Guilherme, medical, happening today, apparently. So hopefully by the end of the week, we're going to have another Brazilian in our ranks. I'm happy about it, but I want to see what's on the agenda now. Like, what's next? He looks like he's coming in. Who's the next man who's coming in? Now, striker-wise, for me, we need a centre forward at this club. I'm seeing so many links with the Nottingham Forest striker. I can't remember his fucking name, but he gets mentioned quite a lot, right? No one's really mentioned about Tony. Tammy Abraham's been mentioned also. Like, with Tammy, I think he's a good player, £30 million, but the injury that he copped last year is a bit of a worry. I'm not going to lie. Do you go and put all your faith in a geezer who's had a really bad injury and you expect him to come back and to the Premier League and start banging in goals for us? Now, that's an interesting one. Obviously, there is other players mentioned. Shout out to Lee. Lee, greetings and good afternoon, sir. Left Dagenham at 9, now 36. It was mental when I left. Yeah, I know, mate. It has got a bit. Do you know what? Amount of people I know, I put a tweet up the other day, yeah, about I literally got back into Dagenham, not even an hour, right? And I live on a like a crossroad. And at the end of the crossroad, there was a car crash. They all got out with bats and blades and everything, running down the road. And the old people were chasing them. And I'm thinking, fuck me, I've been back in these ends for 1 hour. And in Suffolk, there's nothing. All it is trees, grass, and plenty of farms. Yeah, and I come back to here and it's just chaos, absolute fucking chaos. But it's an hard one for me, man. This is my home. This is where I'm from. And the East End, or Dagenham, East End roots, so to speak, it's an hard one to accept. But honestly, anyone who's going to have a family, who's got a family, you don't want to live around here because it's a fucking shithole. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. So get your thoughts in about West Ham, people. Talk to me. Tell me what you're saying. Also, let's talk about Flynn Downes because, like, obviously he's getting a lot of mention at the currently right now. Southampton really want to secure the deal for him. They are very interested in bringing him to the club. I don't know to that. Bosh, we're back in action now. And basically, do we keep Flynn Downes? Do we sub him, like him as a sub, or do we start him? It's as simple as that. It's reverse order. For me, Flynn, you've got to go, mate. Sorry. And even if Lopetegui keeps him, I don't understand why he's keeping him. I really don't. I don't get the logic behind it. Yeah, he's went to Southampton. Now you look at Alvarez, you want someone who's better than Alvarez or on par with Alvarez, and Flynn is just nowhere near it. Yeah, he's listen. I know people who know Flynn. Yeah, relations of his, and Alfie does and all. And for me, Flynn was at his level at Southampton. Yeah, and that's why he was very, very good at Southampton. I think he's a lower ranked Premier League player. Yeah. Listen, I've backed Flynn up for years, right? For a long time. But when he comes to West Ham, I used to have a lot of stick from the boys, especially on his channel. But for me, Flynn is just not the guy, mate. He's not the guy. Like, if this geezer doesn't support West Ham United, you'd want him sold. It's as simple as that. Yeah. Um, so for me, I think it's time to sell. I think it's time to sell. If Southampton want to pay 25 mil, um, then by all means sell him. Do you know what I'm saying? Because there is better players out there. Kone, I think, who plays out in Borussia Mönchengladbach. I see him mentioned. Very, very good player, if I've got that right. Um, Obviously, Fofana's going to get mentioned all the time now. Like, we need someone who can pick the ball up and sort of who's a good ball carrier. Do you know what I'm saying? And Flynn, as a defensive midfielder backup, I just it's night and day. It's just fucking night and day in ability, and it's just not for me. So yeah, for me, Flynn, I love you, kid, but you're just not for me, man. Maybe Southampton is the right move for him. Let's get your thoughts on it. I like Downes, but he's not good enough to where we want to go to. I agree. I simply agree on that. I can't lie. Why are all the out and out strikers we are linked with are broken? This is the thing, Ricky. Yeah, this is the thing that drives me mad. I see 30 million for him. Go and put a billion for Tony, man. Ivan Tony at West Ham United Football Club. I know people go about his attitude. Fuck the attitude shit. Yeah, this geezer is a natural born finisher. Yeah, he's someone that will probably cost about 40, maybe 45 million, but you know what you're going to get with him. Yeah, I've always liked Tony. Like, obviously, Solanke's in there. That's the guy who Rob's mentioned there. He won me. I think his name is. He used to play for. He used to play in Germany. I forgot what club he used to play for, but we did get linked with him before he went to Forest. Another one who's injury prone yet again. So for me, Ivan's the guy, mate. Simply go and get Ivan fucking Tony, because he's there, he's sitting there, and I think Brentford would sell him. Like, I really do. Do you know what I'm saying? If no big club comes in for Ivan Tony, then West Ham should definitely go in and try and get him out of there. Do you know what I'm saying? So, have you seen from Central on Twitter about Zuma and Aguero likely to be sold? Yes, I did. Oh, Central's at it again. For me, Aguero hasn't worked out. I've got to take a major L on this one. Listen, so you can all laugh at me on this one. I thought he was going to be an absolute top class player at West Ham, but he had a good half a season. Last season, fucking shit. Awful. Excuse me. And it hasn't worked out. Kurt Zuma's an interesting one, yeah, because what it is, he's got a year left on his contract. He's got 1 year left. Now, what do? Do you let him run his contract down to nothing, then let him go on a free, or do you give him a new deal, or just sell him now? For me, you sell him now. Simple as that. I don't think this geezer, A, is captain material, and B, first team material at West Ham United. Yeah, I think he's done his time at West Ham. I think he's been a good player for us, but I think all good things come to an end. You've got to let him go now and bring in someone fresh. I see, was it Jake O'Brien mentioned out in Lyon? Good player, Cork City player. Then he went to Crystal Palace, had a loan spell at Swindon. He's doing all right out in Lyon. I'm going to be honest, he's doing okay. Is he worth 30 mil though? Not fucking for me. Not a chance. He's not worth 30 million. Nowhere near it. Yeah, and Lyon are taking the piss on that regard. He's worth about between 20 and 25 at best. He's definitely not worth 30 million. I know that. Right, he's done all right out in Lyon, but he ain't done all right out in Lyon that you can compare him to Aguerd's price, if that makes sense. When we signed Aguerd for 30 million from Rennes, then that was it really. Like, he was doing pretty well out there. Yeah, O'Brien's doing okay out there, but he's not a 30 million man, mate. Simply isn't. Let's get down here. Skamaka is 50-1 to win the European Golden Boot, worth a punt. Well, you know what? If he goes and smashes that, then everyone's going to be wanting to kill David Moyes still. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Aguerd's not a surprise. He'll be sold. Will anyone actually buy him since he has no knees? I think he goes to somewhere out in Saudi, mate, if I'm honest. You want me to be real? Someone will want to pick up Aguerd. And even Zuma to a point. I think both of them could be heading to Saudi, if I'm being honest. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I think Aguerd to Atletico Madrid could be a possibility, but we've got to get the best money for this geezer. Like, do you know what I'm saying? And fast. Right, let's get to, where's that comment gone from Thunder and Joy? Shout out to him. I don't think we can get Tony for 45 million. He's going to cost more. Bournemouth wants 65 mil for Solanke, so Tony isn't 45 mil. But I think Tony's contract's running down, mate, if I've got that right. That's what I'm saying about Tony now. Do you know what I'm saying? I think whoever West Ham get, striker-wise, they have to get someone who is ready to go straight in, no questions asked. I think if you're starting a 34-year-old Mikel Antonio up front, I am going to be a bit concerned. But I am a little bit concerned about the wingers that we keep getting linked with every 5 minutes. which tells to me that Jared Bowen's go up front next season. Yeah, which how do I feel about it? I was the one who was preaching, saying get him up front because he knows where the back of the net is, and he proved it last season with the amount of goals he scored. The issue is we need a centre forward at this club, someone who can hold the ball up, someone like a Solanke, Tony, Abrahams. But the problem is, I don't think we're going to get one, mate. If I'm being honest, if you want me to be truthfully honest, and I would probably have a punt on this big time, I think we're going to flood it with wingers, try and get loads of wingers at the club, and Bowen's going to go up front because you can bung Bowen up front, you can bung Kudus up front, you can have Antonio up front. So technically, you've got striking options there, but they're just all in different positions. Do you know what I mean? It's like a false nine, so to speak. So I'm a bit concerned. I am a little bit, and I'm seeing links with obviously Abraham. For me, if he's a fully fit Abraham, good player. If he's not, then we've got another injury problem at our club. So uh, I think the striker we'll sign will be Atletico kid. Oh, Samu, yeah, get him here, mate. 100%. I will pick him up. I will 100% pick him up from London City Airport, mate. If we get this kid here, I think he's 20 years old. I think 21 years old. Right, he's been on loan to Deportivo Alaves, I think it is. If I got that right, I like him. I'll put a clip up of him the other day. I said, get him here. I will pick him up, mate. Fucking 100%. Did you see the Wesley news? Sorry if you haven't spoken about it. No, I haven't, Chris. Tell me about it. What's going on now? Is Wesley no more? Talk to me, Chris. We are back in for Wesley, and the deal is apparently expected to happen. Well, there you go, mate. Now, if that is the case, and Chris, shout out to Chris123, because he can count. If that is the case, that tells me all I need to know. West Ham are going for wingers, and lots of them. And we're going to have Bowen up front with Antonio as the backup, and probably Danny Ings, if he's not sold, third choice. And then you're going to have wingers like Guilherme, Kudus, Wesley, all coming in, like flying down the wing. Do you know what? One thing I'm happy about with West Ham, I am. Yeah, and shout out to Tim Steidten because we can't say nothing bad about him at the minute. So shout out to him. We've got to praise him like fucking Jesus. Apparently, every time he does something unbelievable, like puts ink to pen. For me, pace is the major thing with West Ham. Yeah, it's one thing at our club that we've always lacked. Now, in COVID seasons, that front four that we had going forward, counter attacking, Antonio, Bowen, Lingard, Ben Rama, we were good. We were very, very good on the break. Yeah. And I'm liking the pace factor. Obviously, Guilherme, the Samba speed man, is on his way. If we get Wesley in at all, yeah, then we might be cooking something up. And I swear to God, if I hear anyone say that, oh, it don't matter if we finish 14th this year and we've got all these Samba kids in our ranks, then I am literally going to hit the fucking roof. Do you know what I mean? Because that's West Ham of old. This is the new West Ham now. And I want to see West Ham top 10, fighting for European spots, so to speak, if I get my words out. Wesley, I think, might be wrong. He's expected to be 25 mil, including add-ons. Get him in, mate. Do you know what I mean? The thing is with these youngsters is you've got a season to sort of integrate them in. Like I see something the other day where someone compared Guilherme to Rivaldo. I looked at it and I went, fucking have a day off, man, please. Like Rivaldo was like fucking special. Like I grew up in that era. Rivaldo, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Roberto Carlos. Them Brazilians were fucking unnatural, and they were very, very good. So yeah, we get the next Rivaldo in, mate. We're gonna have to get the Samba beat out and start like doing some like Samba moves and busting shapes around the East End of London because it's gonna be good. It's gonna be fun. I know that. I do like Guilherme though. I do. I like the pace factor in the kid. The end product's a little bit of a problem for me at the minute, but he's young. It's going to come in it. Let's be real. So yeah, big talk saying Wesley deal is back on, but he can stay there till Jan. Yeah, but why would that be though? Do you know what I'm saying? Maybe. Well, I don't understand that one. Then, if you're going to sign him, you're going to sign him to get him here, aren't you? Fair enough. Do you know what I mean? Opinions on Aguerd and Zuma being expected to leave with Max Kilman. No, the Max Kilman hype, mate. 45 fucking million for Max Kilman. Are you taking the piss? He's not worth 45 mil, man. listen, like he used to play for Maidenhead United, that kid, right? And he went to, I think they signed him. I think if I got this right, Wolves signed him from Maidenhead, right? He's a good player, but he ain't worth 45 million. 45 million pounds for fucking Max Gilman. Like, that is taking the piss out of all of us, mate. Jacob Greaves, on the other hand, is a good player. He's got long hair. He's, yeah, like, I've done a space the other day. Some of the lads are quite excited to see him in the shirt. I'd like to see him in the shirt. He reminds me of a young sort of Aaron Maguire to a point. He really does. Like, and one thing Hull do know is how to sort of get centre halves from their ranks and players in general. Look at Bowen. Do you know what I mean? Bowen. You got the lad that I was mentioning a few years ago who plays for Brentford, Keane Lewis Potter, who I do like, but you know, the English tax is crazy. It is, mate. 45 mil for Kilman. I will be livid, absolutely fuming if we pay 45 million out for Kilman. That's screaming desperation to me. That really is. Yeah. And that's screaming, oh, we're just going to pay them what they want. I remember a few years ago, and no one mentions this anymore because obviously David Moyes is the most hated man going and he's like the ghost of Christmas past. But David Moyes had a choice to make. Tarkowski at 50 mil or 45 mil or Craig Dawson. And we all know how that turned out. You know what I mean? Tarkowski now plays for Everton and Craig Dawson now plays for Wolves, but was an absolute great servant to us for £2.2 million. 45 mil for Kilman, it just doesn't fill me with joy, if I'm being honest. It really don't. Like, I'm gonna be real. So yeah, it's a no from me on that. I think Corinthians don't want to lose him just yet, but be happy to sell him if he can stay there till the end of the current Brazilian season. I don't think it would be the start right now anyway, so it wouldn't be the worst. Listen, if we can get him in, yeah, then we're building for something, isn't it? But what we're building for would be the $1 million question. Like, are we building? Because 2-year deal with Lopetegui. Basically, what we're looking at is doing the 2 years with him, building the side up, and then possibly handing it over to someone in the future. Whoever that is, who knows? But big old job for Lopetegui, I will say that. Hughes is wanted and expected to sign for Fulham. What the fuck would he want to go to Fulham, mate? Anyway, so what I'm saying. I don't know. On the centre half front. One thing I do want to see is us go out and buy people who, in the Championship. There is some decent little talent in the Championship. Like, I see a photo on Twitter of all the players. I think it was the last 4 or 5 years. Yeah, either from the Championship to the present day, and you had Eze, Elise, Benrahma, Bowen. There was a couple of Bellingham was in there. There was a few others in there, and they all play now. Other than Benrahma, who's like he's gone basically. Yeah, they're all at a standard now, a really good standard. So Championship level, man. I'll definitely go in there and see who you can grab. I'll go and drive Jake Greaves from his house to Stratford if he wants to come. Hull is only like 45 minutes from me. So Steidten's number to him to give me a message. Yeah. Shout out to West Ham United carer, who is no more. But yeah. The problem in England is too many people overhype our players and spend too much money on a single player. See, I agree on that. I agree. Yeah. Like, I think the centre half, I think the next signing after Guilherme, yeah, it's either got to be a centre forward or it's got to be a couple of centre halves. Like, obviously, Angelo Bonner's going. Looks like Zuma and Aguero going. Like, we're running out of centre halves, so we need to start getting some people in. Do you know what I'm saying? Who, on the other hand, that's down to like Super Tim, isn't it? Super Timmy Steidten, as everyone like keeps saying. And he has got a big job on his hands. But centre forward is a major problem there also. Now, I see the links to Jota today. Jota Silva, yeah, plays out in Portugal. The Wish version of Jack Grealish, yeah. Now, 20 million don't sound too bad, yeah. Honestly, I don't know what his geezer's like. He could either be the next Bernardo Silva, or he could be just some geezer that ends up doing nothing, so to speak. But, you know, is what it is. But this man's in. Lucas, how are you doing, mate?
I'm good, mate. Nice day. nice start to the day so far over here on the East Coast. But yeah, woke up to some all right transfer news. Nothing really exciting for me personally, but it's nice to see the ball rolling a bit, even though transfer window still doesn't open for. Actually, I can't even remember when it opens.
This week.
This week,
Oh,
yeah, the 14th, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's good to see the ball rolling. Hopefully, some of these players get in here before the Euros, Copa America, all that jazz, and we can set the vision.
I know, mate. I know. I was just rambling on, talking to the chat as I do. It's like talking to me fucking self. New striker, Lucas. What are you saying on the new striker front? Because for me, that's the next position that we need to fulfill.
I would really like one. I think that's one of our main priorities. If it was me in charge, I'm not really sure with all the players we're linked with right now. We're linked with that one 20-year-old from Atletico Madrid. Apparently, he's an absolute beast.
Spring.
I don't know anything about him. I haven't seen him play a minute of football, but I do like looking at highlights and watching some film on these players, but it does show I don't want to say unrealistic because they did what's on those highlights and whatnot, but always got to take it with a grain of salt, in my opinion. But I heard he's an absolute specimen for a 20-year-old. And Nesri is on the ropes. It feels like the interest is dying down a bit, which I'm really not too bothered about. But yeah,
I reckon he goes Saudi, mate. If I'm honest, if I was to have money on it, El Nesri, I reckon goes to Saudi. I reckon a Saudi club will come in, paid him a lot of money, Seville, and get him out there. I really do. What about Jota? Jota Silva.
I think again, someone who I haven't seen play, but from what I've seen, someone who can play on both sides of the wing, and he just got his first Portugal cap or call up into a camp. So the stock seems like it's trending upward for him. So and apparently from what I've heard, I can't pronounce the Portuguese club's name, but the price is straightforward, and if we want him, we can get him. And I think for £15 million, if Guilherme is not going to come right in and get minutes or be the guy that some people, including myself, see that he seems to be. Like, again, for me, I've said it before, if you're going to spend that kind of money on a player, I think he should be getting serious minutes. I'm not saying he should start every single match, but like he should be, if he's on the bench, he should be first option off the bench. But
I agree on that.
If that's not the case, Jota Silva seems like a good option from the news and stuff I've seen, but I really do not know the type of player he is. I only know very little.
Well, he reminds me of Jack Grealish. I'm not going to lie, but just not as good at the minute. But the only issue I have is why is no one else picking him up? It just seems like for that fee, if he's this good, why is no one else looking at him and going, "Yeah, we're going to take this geezer"? It just seems like it's all over West Ham now.
I just feel like we might be one of the only clubs that has a serious issue at left wing. If you go throughout the whole Premier League, I feel like people or clubs either got like someone who's really solid, pretty good, or they're already established, or they might be a bit skint. I know those are literally all the options right there, but I mean, I don't know. Your question is as good as mine.
For me, I said this before you come on. I've got a feeling West Ham might just go out and just blitz it with a load of wingers, mate. It just wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, because they just can't find a striker for love or money. And for me, if they go out and get Wesley in, which people are saying if he's coming in, then fuck me, then we are looking like proper Brazilian outfit. Just make sure they all check their fucking betting accounts before they get over here. That would be important. And basically, Bowen could go up front again. Do you know what I'm saying? Which, do you know what? I'm not opposed to it, because Bowen is fucking good, mate. Like, he's good, and he will lead by example. The only issue I have is with Kudus at the minute, because Kudus has to go on the right. He can't go on the left. Like what George was saying the other day, it's not right.
Yeah, I think I don't know. It just all depends on how Lopetegui wants to play. Like if we're gonna see Bowen as striker again, I just don't want to see him having to try and play with his back to the defender, hold the ball up all the time, because that's not really his game. He proved last season that he can do it a bit. Like, he's okay, and there are some matches where he looks better doing it than others. But in terms of consistency, we all know he's best on the right. And maybe if he is a striker again, maybe could that entail him and Kudus start striker and right wing? Who knows if they could be like interchanging during the match, like just seamlessly rotating in and out, like during the flow of the match. Who knows if that could be the vision? I won't know until the 26th of July, our first preseason match, I think.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong, mate.
When is
it? It's the 20th of July. Dagenham and Redbridge versus West Ham. That's what it's gonna be, mate. If I'm staying over there, mate, and fucking Guilherme's just running through the whole of the Daggers fucking team, mate, it's gonna be quite funny. I'm gonna watch it and think, yeah, fuck it, get him in. Do you know what I'm saying?
I just don't know the vision currently. The only way we're gonna try and know what he's trying to build is if X says something like very, very literal and very insightful, or we're just gonna have to wait for the first preseason match. But it does seem that we're looking at a lot of wingers, a lot of younger prospects. But I don't know. It's a bit weird with Lopetegui's contract situation and some people's expectations, because if he's on a 2-year deal with a 3rd-year option if he makes Europe, why are we trying? Well, then again, he's not in complete control of everything. He might have his say on 1 or 2 players, but it doesn't seem too bright for him if we're going for prospects that won't be ready for 2 or 3 seasons. And
I feel that West Ham are building this side up to hand it over to someone in the future. Who that is, I've got no idea. Whoever that is, I've got no fucking idea. Literally no idea. And if I was to sit here and think, who could it be? No one screamed out to me saying, right, he's going to be the next West Ham manager after Lopetegui. Yeah. I think next season's like a free hit for Lopetegui, isn't it, to a point, but that free hit's still got to be a successful hit. Like, West Ham can't be finishing 14th or fucking 13th mid-table. Like, we've done that years ago, and people have got to stop having excuses now. Do you know what I mean? Like, if we can finish 9th with the shit team that we had and the manager that was so shit and that everyone sort of said, we can finish fucking 10th or higher with this manager with new crop of players. So, yeah, for me, like, it's going to be interesting to see how he goes. What do you make of Max Kilman for 45 million? Because that one I'm not buying at all, mate.
Not for me. I don't think he's a bad player by any means, but 45 million, again, that's just British tax coming into play. And we all know we need a bit more homegrown talent in the side for obvious reasons, but 45 million, that is a lot. Like, the only person that seems very keen on that is Lopetegui. And again, like, I don't blame him. He's worked with him. Max Kilman hasn't been that bad, but I don't see 45 million that he seems like to me.
Yeah, he's not 45.
Barely in the 30s, I'd say. I would think 30 to 35 would be fair, but still, I don't know if it's for me. But I'd rather go for Greaves, honestly, who I'm not saying is better than Kilman, but price is better. I think he wants to come to the Premier League, and he doesn't have to start immediately, depending on sales and stuff too, because some of the news that's come out is that we wouldn't mind getting rid of Vigerd and Zuma this summer. So really depends. Like you said before, Tim Steidten has got a lot of work on his hands because he's got to curate a strong starting 11, and he should be able to, off what we've seen, and some of the glares are obvious.
Yeah. Before I get to Tommy's comment, one man that West Ham should go and get if he's surplus to requirements in West London, is Chalobah. For me, he's sitting there. Yeah, if no one comes in for him, any big clubs come in for him, go over and get him out of Chelsea, mate. Because I think he's a decent player. I don't understand what Chelsea are trying to do by getting rid of him. I really don't. But I would have Chalobah 100% at West Ham. Now that's a player that I would play 35 million for, because he's got the age on his side. I think he's 24 if I got it right, and he's only going to get better. Do you know what I'm saying? What you saying on Chalobah, quick?
Price for me is still a bit steep. If it is 35, I don't know what the reports are, but I know that I think Fulham are in for him just because the move is so easy. But Trevor Chalobah isn't bad. I think he's a decent player, someone who can play multiple positions. He can play in a back four as a center half, a back three. He can play a little bit of DM. So, and he's homegrown. I'd bring him in. I think one of the numbers I seen was like £25 million, and I'd rather pay that for Chalobah than Kilman. And I'm not saying that Chalobah's better than Kilman, but I think they're near each other. Mate, and it's all about value at that point.
45 million for Kilman is a fucking insult. And if Wolves weren't in so much shit, because they are in shit at the minute financially to a point, that's the reason why the price is bumped up. I'd rather bring back Craig Dawson for like 3 million.
Yeah, and from what I've seen, is that and again, pinch of salt. It's just what I've heard. There was like a section of Wolves supporters that they really didn't fancy Kilman. They didn't think he was that good this season. But again, that's just hearsay. I'm not a Wolves supporter, nor do I follow any. So
let's get to this comment from Tommy. Shout out to Irish Tommy. I hope you're well, sir. Lopetegui's pushing Alex Garcia to play alongside Alvarez. Apparently, quality sign if we can get him. I agree. I think that'd be a nice 2-man. But if we do get Garcia in, that's West Ham not going 4-3-3. That's West Ham going 4-2-3-1. You got 2 players there who are holders, and then you got a front 4 that's going to be very, very exciting. Do you know what I'm saying? What you say on that, Garcia?
Like I said last time, I seen his FBref stats and percentiles and all that, and they look really, really good. I haven't watched a lot of them, but from what I know, he's a very good player, and coming from, and apparently he was shafted of a Spain call up as well. People were not happy about that. But from some of the stuff I've seen, I think he'd be a real decent signing. He seems like, you know how you would always go on about we need a runner in midfield, and he seems like that type of guy. Like, you got Alvarez, who you call a destroyer, but then you got Alex Garcia, who if I had to, and again, this is no comparing, but he kind of plays like Kobe Mainu a bit, where he's an 8, but he can kind of fill in as a 6 a bit with the way he plays, because he's not like totally balls to the wall, headless chicken. He's very calculated, but works really hard, if that makes sense. And he's coming from Spain, so you'd assume that if we're trying to play a bit of first touch football and really get the ball at the pitch.
Ex-Manchester City under Pep.
So he's got a good, I wouldn't call it a portfolio, but he's on a good path. He has a good path, and depending on the price, he could be a very good player for us, and someone who could be at this club for a while. So I'd be all for it. Just I don't know any prices or anything on
it. I disagree with this. I don't think either of them. If one of them's going, it's Ward-Prowse. Yeah, I don't think Thomas Souček leaves the club, especially this season. People have got this thing in their head that Souček's going to be just like thrown out. West Ham can't afford to get rid of everyone. Fuck hell, like they just can't. Do you know what I'm saying? I think Souček will stay and be like used as of when. And listen, if someone said like put Souček, Alvarez, and Garcia as a 3-man midfield, right? It ain't a bad 3-man midfield, especially like it's lots of energy in there, lots of work rate and everything else. The Ward-Prowse one is an interesting one because it ain't really his signing, is it? As like we all know, it was a David Moyes signing last year. Do you know what I'm saying? So, but Ward-Prowse, like for me, what would you do with that situation, Lucas?
I think it all depends on Paqueta, because I think if Paqueta gets sacked and banned for life, I
Yeah.
think Ward-Prowse, and again, it depends with Kudus as well, because some people in their strongest 11, they put Kudus on the left, which I disagree with it, but that doesn't mean I'm saying Kudus is absolutely dreadful on the left. He's not as good as he is on the left than he is on the right. It's a complete different player to me.
He can't go on the left, mate.
He can.
It's
kind of like the Ben Rama situation where he'll carry the ball and he'll do it well.
Yeah.
But the end product is just not there. As opposed to when Kudus is on the right, he looks almost world class. So for me, if Paqueta is banned for life, in some people's strongest 11, Kudus may be in the 10. Ward-Prowse could possibly be in the 10. I think Ward-Prowse has to stay. I think he just has a dynamic that would be good for any squad in the world, even if he is on the bench, right? He might be an expensive bench player, but same with Souček. They both offer something that you could possibly bring off the bench, and we need someone to take the set pieces, unless he plans on starting Cresswell. And if he starts Cresswell, that's an absolute abomination.
Well, Jazza, all the way out in Australia, shout out to him. Has just turned around and said West Ham are trying to sign a Real Betis left back. So Lopetegui to Pellegrini, or Pellegrini to Lopetegui. Fucking who would have knew that one? So I mean, we do need a covering left back because Cresswell isn't good enough to be our second choice. Now, is that geezer going to be our first choice? Who knows? But
Juan Miranda's a good player as well. I think he's going to be a bit expensive though. He's pretty rated. So
yeah, I know. What do you make of old Flynn Downes, Lucas? I mentioned it earlier. People are saying about getting him in, starting him, having him as a sub. What are you saying for him?
I think we're gonna have to find out this preseason because I fear that Flynn Downes, as much as I love the story, I like that he's West Ham through and through. From what we've seen so far, I don't want to say he wasn't really given a fair shake when he first came in. He got some minutes. He was played in his position sometimes he wasn't, and he wasn't too impressive. Like, he kept it very basic, which again, sometimes you have to. I'd rather someone keep it basic than take loads of risk.
But is he at that level? Because
I don't know, and what I fear is that he's a quality top tier championship player. Great. and a very average Premier League player. That's what I fear. But I'm gonna wait for these preseason matches because I do think we need depth for Alvarez, because Alvarez picks up way too many yellow cards. And do I think Flynn Downes can do what Alvarez can do? I'm not sure, but I'd rather have the cover than not. But then again, Souček proved in certain matches, him as a 6, he wasn't all that bad. He was a suitable replacement. But again, like, Alvarez is exactly the type of DM we need, but he can't be it on a consistent basis because he's always picking up yellow cards. So it's a sticky situation. I think, in my heart of hearts, I think Flynn Downes can prove himself and overcome and be the player I think he can be and who he probably thinks he can be. He's probably biting at the, oh my gosh, I totally forgot.
Chewing at the bit.
Yeah, chewing at the bit. Sorry. At an opportunity. And I
agree with you to a point. But the problem is with me is I look at it on levels basis. Alvarez is there. Flynn is nowhere near where Alvarez's level is.
And they're two complete different types of DMs as well. As Alvarez, like you say, is a bit of a destroyer. I wouldn't say he runs around like a headless chicken, but he's he's a tad bit miscalculated. He's not like he just, again, the yellow cards really bother me because some of them are just absolutely terrible. But then Flynn Downes is more of like a holding 6 where he wants the ball at his feet. He's going to play it sideways and backwards. He may ping a few if the time is right, but it's a bit weird because we need the backup, we need the depth, but they're two complete different types of 6s.
Yeah. So if I was to say to you, right, you got a choice to make here. You either bring Freddie Potts back and say, right, he comes into the fold and you let Downes go, or you let Potts go out on loan again and you bring Downes back and let him into the fold, what would you do? Because for me, I'm going to be honest, if someone comes in and wants to spend 20+ million pounds for Flynn Downes,
that's another thing. I think we
you've
have
got to let him go.
I think we have an absolute chokehold on Southampton right now. If you told me that we could get, because I'm not kidding with this. I genuinely think we could get 25 million pound out of him for Flynn Downes, because we all know how much Martin absolutely loves him, adores him to the point. But in that scenario, it would depend on where Potts is going on loan as well. You would think his next loan would have to be in the Championship, and if he were to go to like Rotherham or something, is there really a point? He'll get tons of playing time, but actually no, they got relegated. So
Portsmouth, let him go down to Portsmouth. Right, Portsmouth have just come up. They're a big club in that league. Yeah, if Freddie Potts wants to go out on loan, getting down to Portsmouth or someone like that, I think they will get behind him.
Yeah, it would have to be a really good loan move, but I tend to normally play it a bit safe, so I would probably say I'd rather keep Flynn Downes and depend on Freddie Potts if the situation were to arise. You know what I mean?
So I agree with what Tommy's saying there. If Southampton wins and pay 20 mil for Downes,
I agree.
It'd be crazy not to take it. I agree on that. Yeah, and what it is, I think bringing him in, this is where the sentimental value goes out the window for me. Whether he supports West Ham or not. Yeah, we support West Ham, but it doesn't mean so that we're good enough to play for West Ham, right?
Yeah.
And there's nothing against Flynn. I like Flynn. Yeah, and as I say, I know people who are related to him, but for me, I just don't think he's the level that we want to aim to. I think we've got Alvarez in. That's the level that we need to go for, like a Fofana or Garcia or someone of that nature. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not and I look at Flynn and I think, could Flynn come in and be that man to sort of help us in our time of darkness if we've lost a load of players? I don't think he could. I don't think he could, mate. I think he could fold. So, it's just not for me on that. What do you make of Mohamed Kudus, Lucas?
Yeah, I woke up and seen
Shout out to Mo, mate. He's fighting back against the fucking trolls, isn't he?
I think that's probably the best. That's probably the best way I've seen a player respond to criticism, because normally they don't do it all or they go absolutely overboard. But I think Mohamed Kudus dealt with it brilliantly.
Yeah.
I don't watch AFCON or any of those competitions or anything, but apparently he must not have been great. But hey, if he's gonna, sorry to everyone out there that supports Ghana or whatever, but it doesn't break my heart. I'd rather him stink it up for them and be great for us than the other way around.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was hilarious. He says like we'll come and say it to me face or something. Like it's just a typical fucking thing you say on social media, isn't it? But listen,
he's human.
He's human, but it obviously bugged him enough for him to react. Do you know what I'm saying? And he's not really let's be honest, he's not really one to sort of react to situations, but to react to that is, it was quite funny, I must admit. Let's get to this one from Ricky. Shout out to Ricky. Souček and James Ward-Prowse both have 3-year contracts of 90k a week. Why would you want to leave? Plus, FFP would match that for them and think about the new challenge. 90 bags a week. They were. We would like to be on 90 bags a week, wouldn't we, Lucas?
Yeah. Give me one of those bags.
I know, mate. You got anything you want to add on to today?
No, I'm good. I know as much as the next person right now. I'm again, just like last time, I'm just hopeful Tim Steidten can bring in the players that suit the club, take the club forward, and hopefully Lopetegui is putting forward some targets he thinks that will help him now instead of in a do or die season next year. Because like I said, I don't think we need a total rebuild like a lot of people think. And again, in the contract situation that Lopetegui's in, if he genuinely only has 2 years to prove himself, I don't think Lopetegui is in the mindset to transition this season and then put it all on the line next season to try and stay. Because as much as people were ranting and raving that Lopetegui wanted West Ham, I think he needed West Ham as much as we needed him.
Yeah.
So, or I wouldn't say we needed him because I don't feel that
Sullivan
way.
worked. Listen,
Yes.
Sullivan fucking worked on him, mate. I was saying
Yeah.
it for months and months and months. I said it in spaces. I will get to that comment shortly, Tommy. Yeah, and I just knew. Like it was fucking obvious that Sullivan was like, "Oh, come to here because you're cheap, like the fucking canary." Do you know what I mean? So, listen, Lopetegui's got a big job. Steidten's got a bigger job though. I think Steidten's got the bit because he's got to go and find the.
He's a bigger piece on the chessboard than
He's got,
Lopetegui is by far.
Yeah, he is, mate.
He's the king, and Lopetegui's just a pawn, in my opinion.
I agree on that. I do. I just don't. I think he's going to be building this side up,
or a rook.
To hand it over to someone else. I don't know why. I just get the feeling. I don't see the long term vision with Julian Lopetegui, but I can see the short term vision.
It is literally reminiscent of when Moyes came in. It could have the potential to be that, and if it does have the potential, I wouldn't mind because we'd end up hopefully with a trophy. But it's set up just like that. We're going to give you 2-year deal. Hopefully, you save us in what we think might be a transitional season. Again, I don't think that, but he can prove the board wrong, prove the fans wrong, and then it's just a steady incline of new deals and saving us and maybe getting us a trophy. But it literally has the same foundations, in my opinion, except the fear of fighting relegation.
Yeah, fuck all that relegation, like, mate. I've done that for too many years. I don't want to see West Ham doing that. But Tommy says, do you think Paqueta's head will be in it next season if the charges still hanging over him for the next few months? I think he's done, mate. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't take the risk on him. Like last season, he didn't know about these charges coming. Like he was thinking that he was all in the clear, and let's have it right. We all knew that he was down in tools in certain fucking games, right? Especially away from home, because I can't remember a good away performance that geezer done in 2024. I simply can't. So, for me, it is a concern. Yeah, if he gets banned for life, we are the most cursed fucking club on the planet. We have Brazil's number 10. We have Brazil's number 10. Yeah. I can't remember the last time West Ham had a fucking Brazil's number 10 in their ranks. Yeah, especially not for the national fucking team. I know that. But if we go and lose him through betting and he gets banned for life or 5 years or something, because it could happen, right? I'm gonna be honest. If it comes out with that, then we are just cursed, mate. We simply are just cursed.
I'm in two minds. For some reason, the way I think about this is if he's anything like last season, I feel like he might be in the clear. But if he turns it up a new level and looks a complete different Paqueta, it could be his last hurrah. Because if he is going to get banned for life, he's going to probably want to try and go out on a brilliant note. You know what? I got banned for life, but I was some player. That's the way I think about it. I don't know. We're both on different sides. I think I wouldn't necessarily use the words in the clear, but I think he'll survive. I think he'll beat the allegations.
I think he gets banned, mate. If I was to have money on it, I'm about 80% sure he gets banned. Yeah, because they must. If he's not given documentation over, that's basically refusing to sort of cooperate in a situation. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know why. I feel he gets banned, but how long he gets banned for, I don't know.
I feel like
I'll be stunned, Lucas. I'll be literally fucking stunned if he walks away in the clear. Literally, I'll be like, how has he got around that? Because
I just say I'm no legal expert, but from what you just said, it's one of those tricky things where he's cooperating, but he's cooperating to the letter of the law. Like they're trying to speed up the process. They're trying to get things going, but if you don't have to, you don't have to. If they want extra evidence or extra documents by letter of the law, Paqueta doesn't have to do that unless there's a deadline or something. It's just like anything in life, really. Like most people, if you don't have to do it, you're really not going to until you either have to
Yeah.
or until the time comes. And with
So
Paqueta, apparently they wanted documents at a certain time, but he's
yeah.
not going to give it to him until he absolutely has to. And he's no legal expert, so he's going to follow exactly probably what his lawyers want him to do. And he's not doing it on his own, obviously. So I don't know. I just, again, I'm not really betting on it, but just from how again, all letters of the law are different around the world. So
let me put it this way to you. Come the first game of the season, beginning part of August, do you start Lucas Paqueta in games for West Ham while this is still over his head?
1,000,000%. If he is available to play, you have to start him. 1,000,000%.
I don't know.
He's one of our best players. Like, let's say this: if it is hanging over his head, there's no point in just having it. If his head's not in the right space, obviously you don't start him. But if he is 100% healthy, fit, ready to go, what is the benefit of having him on the bench just because there's a band over his head? It's not like if we don't play him, they might lighten the band. But it's not like that. It's either for me, it's go big or go home. If he's say he only is able to play 10 matches and he gets banned, what is the point of not playing him in those 10 matches and not using them?
I understand what you're saying, but it's like, do you play it because it's Lucas Paqueta, or do you look at the bigger picture and think, right, this is West Ham United, this is not Lucas Paqueta FC? Like, for me,
I don't look at it that way at all.
Right,
I'm not saying he's bigger than the club. You play him because he's one of your best players.
I get that, but what my attitude is, like, if this is over his head, like, he ain't gonna be in the right frame of mind. Like, if you're facing the ban, then you know you're gonna be in fucking shit.
I don't know. Basically. You seen like who said in there? Stewart. From what I've seen, I'll pull it up.
Yeah.
The way he goes about social media doesn't strike me as being very worried. I agree. Like we've seen him come out, I wouldn't say loads of times, but there's been almost a handful of times where he's addressed the situation. And I think he's say if he is playing the legal game, I think he's played it very well. He hasn't been overreactionary. I think he's said the right things to not really sound suspicious or acknowledge certain things, but I don't know. The way I see it, even at his worst, he's one of our best players, and he provides something that we need in the squad. And you have to play him, in my opinion. There's no point in paying for him and not using him just because of the situation that's going on. The only way I see that is if he is clearly in an absolute state and he looks shit scared, shit worried. He knows he's going to get the sack. That's the only way. But if he's strolling along, going about his day no different than before, his head's in the right space, you have to play him.
I get what you're saying. Don't get me wrong, because it's like you're paying a contract for this geezer. Fuck it, play him. Like, simple as that. So I get that aspect. I really do. For me, it's a tricky one, because if you've got something over your head, you're not going to be fully focused on the game in hand, are you? Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, what do you do? Like, do you just chuck him out there and go, yeah, we all know how good he is, but we don't know what we're going to get with him? Do you know what I'm saying? I do believe last season he thought he was in the clear, because it all died down, and he sort of put it on the FA to a point to say, well, do something about it, and they have. And I think it's backed him up a little bit, but we're going to have to see where it goes. Let's get this comment in from Gary, and I'll flip through the comments shortly. Need sell Ings, Cornet, Antonio, all too old. Faults, Lucas, because Antonio can't go nowhere at the minute because we ain't got a fucking striker.
Yeah, Antonio isn't going nowhere because Lopetegui loves him. Cornet, I've said it a million times. I feel really bad for him, but there's just no place for him at this club. We really need to get rid.
Yeah.
And Ings, unless he's playing in the 10, get rid.
Yeah, Antonio has to stay. That's 100%. I can't believe I'm fucking saying that. He has to stay, but he has to be off the bench. Like a 20-minute a game, or possible like 30 minutes of Antonio could do some damage next season. Do you know what I mean? With tired defences, I do think that a centre forward is just fucking so major at this club, and I'll be happy. I'll be calmer As a West Ham fan, once I see a striker come into this club, a good striker at that, come into this club, at the minute, all I'm seeing is loads of fucking bombing wingers, but no striker, and it is a little bit concerning, mate. I'm not even going to lie to you.
It doesn't surprise me because, like we've seen, Lopetegui wanted 2 players that are at this club. He wanted Antonio, he wanted Cresswell. You could put that into any context you want. Oh, like he needed cheap players and he liked them. That could be the case, but he could have really, really liked them and wanted them. So, again, I don't know with those two. I'm a bit less Antonio because on his day, Antonio is just an absolute handful. And the back end of last season that just ended, thought he was very good. But if I see Cresswell start, I'm turning the telly off. Season's done for me. Season's done.
Mate, if I see fucking Cresswell anywhere near the first team next season, mate, I'll be fuming. Because it's just the same old shit. But this man is getting mentioned. Ben Johnson. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Sunday, he done his church service, Lucas. Up Kingsley Hall in Dagenham. You know what I mean? I know people who going up there. You know what I mean? He done a service, spoke about West Ham, about his religion and all that. Fair play to him. He's a very religious kid. I will say that for people I know. He's right up it with the old gospel. But is this man going to be signing for West Ham or is he going to be leaving? Now, the answer to that I've said for 2 years, anyone who's followed this channel for 2 years, is he thinks he's better than what he is. And I think he's out the door. I think he's looking at going to another club with a better contract than what he's currently got. And I think it's about money rather than the club, if I'm being honest. Lucas, what are you saying, sir?
I think this is all set up for him to come back, honestly, just because he's already been offered a few deals, and apparently the money hasn't been what he's expected, and he probably hasn't gotten some offers he's expected. If I was him, I would have taken that. I don't know how true it is, but I would have taken that Rangers contract 1,000,000%. You're going to play Champions League at bare minimum, Europa League football. You're playing at a huge club, and you're probably going to start or not start. He'd be in competition with Tavernier, but I don't know. I kind of agree with you. I think he might think he's better than what he is, which I don't slate at all. You need to have confidence like that if you're going to be a professional footballer. But just for where we're at, last season, I didn't think he was good enough. This season now coming in, he's not. I don't know. In the situation we're in right now, I could see the argument if someone said he might not be too good for us now. But last season, in my opinion, I didn't think he was at the level. But again, like I said last show, if he comes back, I won't. I really won't mind. If he goes, I won't mind.
Lucas, if he wasn't an academy player, he would have been gone. It's as simple as that. It's because he's from the academy of football. That's the reason why people get a bit loved up with Ben Johnson. If we had signed this Ben Johnson from, I think, Brentford or fucking Portsmouth or somewhere, for instance, we signed him up a few years ago. He's come in, he's had a few games, he's done all right, but like no one would care. It's because he's Ben Johnson from the Academy of Football. That's why people keep like going on there every hope that he's going to be a success. Like he doesn't want to be here. The contract has been extended and extended again. Like 2 times it's been extended. Yeah. I know that for a fact. Like I know it. I spoke to people who said he's extended it. Like the club have extended the contract for him. So I'm not buying it, mate. I simply am not. I'll get Kane in shortly. I just want to get your quick thoughts on this before we get Kane in. See what he wants to say. Last season, Bournemouth, we saw no new signings. What do you guys think? How many new signings start the first game of this coming season, Lucas? What are you saying?
How many new signings start the first match of the season? Oof.
3. I'm going to say 3.
Sure, I'll go with 4. I don't know. That is, you're gonna have to ask a genie that question.
I tell you lie. I'll say 4 because Thornton's going to be on his way, isn't he? So that'd be another signing. So 4 signings. I'm going to say. Kane, how are you?
I'm doing well. Good afternoon, guys. How you both doing?
Oh, very well.
Very well, mate.
What is on your mind, Kane? Talk to us.
I don't know. I thought I'd just join in. To be fair, I heard you talk about Ben Johnson. What's the latest? Is he staying? Is he going? I generally have no idea, to be honest.
I think he's going, mate. I think he's going. What about Flynn Downes, Kane?
I think he's staying.
Me and Lucas will have this argument all the time. Kane, what are you saying about Flynn Downes? Sign, keep or sell?
I think if you get the right money for him, look, the reality is Russell Martin looks absolutely desperate for him. Why wouldn't he be? He's very key to how he plays. I think if you can get really good money for him, you should take it. I think at best, Flynn Downes for us will be probably a good, decent backup player. But if you can, I think we could do better, and especially if we can get really good money for him, I think it's a no-brainer to sell and cash in for Flynn Downes. He's an okay player. I think he's really good for like a Martin type full system, but he's all right.
He'd be great for the Derby ball.
He'd be all right. Yeah, but wasn't he at Swansea with Martin though? If I've got that right. Yeah,
I think Russell Martin, one of the biggest terrorists in football, has destroyed him and made him only a Martin player. It's disgusting to see.
And he's gonna pay a terrorist price as well. I genuinely think we have a chokehold on him. I wouldn't be surprised if we got £25 million for Flynn Downes. I would not be surprised.
I'll take it and run, mate. I would.
Even 20, I'd take and run.
Yeah. 20, 25, 22, fucking whatever. You know what I mean? I'll take it and run. Kane, what do you make of old defensive situation? Zuma, Aguerd, possibly not going to be here. And then you've got the likes of Kilman. Max Kilman. What do you say about Max Kilman?
See, obviously, it's good news that both Aguerd and Zuma are looking to go. They're a big problem. Zuma, I mean, his legs are gone, so good luck actually shifting him. And Aguerd, I just don't think was interested. And Max Kilman, if you asked me January last window, when I was thinking if we sell Aguerd and get Kilman, that'd be brilliant.
Yeah.
I've watched him a bit more, and I think he's a good player. I don't think he's amazing, though. I'm a bit concerned about him.
Do you think he's £45 million good?
No, definitely not.
Yeah. I agree on that. He ain't worth it. I think he was a bit worried, though, like a little bit, that we're getting rid of all our sort of defenders, which I understand it. Don't get me wrong, before anyone wants to fucking lynch me from the nearest lamppost. But bringing in fresh new defenders who might not have ever played in the Premier League. He's a bit worried about that, Lucas.
Always.
Because
always worried about that. I'm
gonna be honest. Like, fucking,
I'm always worried about someone who hasn't played in the Prem coming in and playing, because it's totally different. Like, seriously, how many over the last 10 years at West Ham? Because I don't give a toss about any other fucking clubs. Over the last 10 years at West Ham, can you name me more than five? You probably could. But like more than 5 players that have come from somewhere outside of England that have hit the ground running right away and made the transition look piss easy. Kudus, Payet,
Kudus. I'd say Alvarez has come in and done a good job. Fucking hell. After we left Upton Park in 2016, that season there was fucking no one in there that done all right. Do you know what I'm saying? Ben Rama, could you say? Yeah,
Torre was brilliant. What do you mean?
Fucking wasn't, mate. I still have nightmares about it. He's doing about 100 step overs, isn't it? Do you get me? 100 step overs and then clip it to the back post where no one is. So, yeah, it was fun. Kane, what else are you saying, man? What's on your mind? Anything like striker-wise? Wesley looks like he's on his way to us, Kane.
Yeah, I've just seen that. A sports witness, though, isn't it? So pinch of salt, who actually knows? Yeah. But yeah, no, I think did X. I'm sort of guessing, man, because the window's not even open, is it? But I'm guessing that I think X said Steidten wants to pick up at least a couple players, so I guess that makes sense. But it's a lot. Obviously, it'd be a lot of money on 2 youngsters. Like I will say that if they're good, they're good. If they're good players and they bring them in and stuff, I've got no idea. And anyone sat there going, "Oh, look at you! You don't watch him." Like, shut up, innit? We'll see.
Alex has said it. Alex has said it. Bang on. Go and get that geezer from Braga, mate.
Yeah, bring him in. He's got a leap, innit? I like him.
he can
fucking
he can head the hell out of a ball. I'll tell you that.
Mate, the clip I put up the other day, I couldn't believe how many times he was just throwing his whole body on the.
I don't care. We moved on, but my manager would have loved him.
Yeah, well, that's past tense now, Lucas.
My man.
He's the man that don't even get a fucking getting the picture last week of
I'm not even gonna go on about that, but that was absolutely disgusting. The three people left out of that. One, controversial. There's some people the way they think about them. Two, probably the most important reason why we won that competition. And then three, my man. Like, that is disgusting from the admin. And I love our admin. I think he does some great work. But admin, sort yourself out.
Oh, mate, shout out to Tay. If Tay's listening, fucking I was pissing myself. He said, what's going on here? You got rid of all the people that was involved. He should have been a collective. Tay, you saw that picture, didn't you?
Yeah, that was the worst decision ever. I say it as maybe it's a genuine mistake when someone says, "Oh, look, we're just appreciating the players that are here right now." But come on, man! Just think it through. That's so bad.
You cannot erase history.
Exactly.
It's fucking mental, mate.
That was so funny because, like I said, I think our admin is really good and he doesn't really make mistakes. But when you make one mistake like that, that's highlighted.
I know, mate. But I'll tell you what, how fast that year's gone, though. We done the show the other day on Thursday, Lucas. Yeah, obviously it come out on Friday, didn't it? That was a year.
Yeah.
To the day with Prague and everything. Fucking how fast that's gone this year. It's gone absolutely fucking mental, isn't it? And when you think about from last season, how everyone was together to a point, after that, to go for the whole season, and now it's slowly calming down. I do still see these Moyes inners, Moyes outers fucking tweets, and people need to grow up and start.
I think continuing that kind of talk.
Yeah.
Moyes inners would have wanted this, blah blah blah. Moyes outers, this, blah blah blah. I think that is so dead. Just move on. If anything, I hope Lopetegui does exactly what Moyes did. Nobody wanted Moyes here at first. He proved us all wrong. I'm only speaking for myself and previously as well. I don't want Lopetegui here, but I hope he proves me incredibly wrong.
Yeah.
And again, I tell you this all the time, no matter my football preference, I'm going to back whatever West Ham do. I'm going to support whoever's on the pitch. I'm going to support whoever is on the touchline, whoever the manager is. I supported Torre and Nordvient when they were at this club, no matter how crap I thought they were.
And fucking Zaza. I remember him doing the fucking chicken dance.
And I'm gonna continue to support whoever wears the shirt. That's just how that's how it is. That's how it should be, even if I don't agree with them being here or not.
What about you, Kane? What you saying about all that Moyes inners, outers, shaking all the batters?
It's a bit stupid, man. As I see some people. It's sort of shifted a bit to Steidten, but it's not the same energy because most people who backed Moyes aren't sitting there slacking off Steidten. You do get a few people that are really hating on Steidten, but I don't know if some of it's a gimmick, some of it's trolling. Probably should pack it in a bit, to be honest with you. And then you get the other side where people still proper gunning for Moyes, hating Moyes. It's you got what you wanted, man. You got what you wanted. I mean, the manager you hated at least gave you some bloody good nights. Get over it. You've got a technical director that was, that you wanted. He's got full control pretty much that you wanted. Be happy, man. You were linked with some players in Brazil, the young players, young, hungry. Be happy. Stop gunning for Moyes. And the people sat there slagging off Steidten 24/7. I say, look, we'll just see how it goes. I think this window's where I'm going to fully judge him. I'm going to give him the window and see, and then make your decision there.
I don't think you can sort of slag off Steidten after this window. I think we have to be sitting here in a year's time and saying, how did all them signings do that he signed? Yeah, so if you're signing all these fucking runners from the Brazilian favelas and they're all coming here,
hey,
we need to.
But say it, James. Say it, Fever.
If I want time, I'll buy a fucking Rolex watch. You know what I mean?
I better see someone hit that celebration next season.
Right. I'm gonna say that. Yeah. Shout out to fucking Wesley and Guilherme. Do that celebration, boys. I'll be with you. The thing is, when I look at it, is that they've got a year's grace. Yeah. So no one should be slagging off Steidten. Am I nervous about it? Yes. I won't lie. I'm nervous because we need a fucking lot of work doing. And we need a lot of these players to come in and hit the ground running sharp, bang, straight away. Like we can't wait for these players to bed them in and give them time and fucking all this shit.
Because it would be hypocritical to what we just witnessed, in my opinion.
Yeah. And I'm going to be straight. I'll let you land 1 sec, Kane. Yeah, I was going to say this. For me, that's how I feel. Like, because I've seen it so many times. When you come in, I remember it in 2016 when we fucking left Upton Park, we brought a load of players in. It was a fucking disaster. So I am a bit nervous about it, but I will know more after the end of the window. Like, if we start picking off players and we're bringing in quality additions, then so be it.
And it's not about one. It's like, for me, I don't want a transitional season. I don't want to rebuild, but do I think it's coming? 1,000%.
Yeah. What are you saying, Kane?
I was just going to say, like, I mean, what I said earlier, obviously you give Steidten the window and stuff. That doesn't mean if you look at something and think, oh, I'm not sure about that, you don't say anything. You can have an opinion. I will. Let's say, for example, this is all hypothetical, so it's not a criticism yet, and it's not going to happen probably. But if we go into the next season with Zaha as our starting left winger, and then Kudus and Bowen, I'm going to flag up and say, where is the creativity? What's going on here, Tim? That's an example, but I'll wait and see. I won't hound the guy out and go, I hate Steidten, he's ruined my life and stuff. That's what I'm saying.
We'll leave that for the other extremists.
I know, like, fucking unreal. I was going to say this from Tommy. James is already labelling Guilherme as a pace merchant. We ain't a fucking goal scorer, mate. So I think he's scored 1 goal in his entire career. I want him to do well, the kid. Don't get me wrong, but we need runners, and we desperately need runners at this club.
Need pace.
Like, we need pace on both flanks, not just one flank.
Like that side right there. We need some real pace. Get the pace in. Get it in.
100%, mate. 100%. That's what we need. Like, it's as simple as that. Like, and Steidten, as I always said, he's got a big job to do. And I think what irritates me more than anything is when people lower their standards. That's the thing that does me, is that the standard's been set by Moyes from previous. And West Ham now are that top 10 club. And now people are going, you know what, it don't really fucking matter. We should be looking at, like, if we finish mid-table, it don't really matter. Well, it fucking does really matter, because I don't want to see West Ham finishing mid-table. I want to see West Ham fighting for fucking Europe, mate, and being that team that we all believe that they are. Because we are a big club, yeah, and people sort of downplay it. Like, people downplay it a little bit, and I think that's just wrong. Like, when I look at teams that we're going to be competing with, yeah, if you look at Brighton, Brentford, we're fucking better than all these. Well, I know that. So, you know, it is what it is. But Steiden's the man. He's got the plan. Do you know what I mean? And we'll see what happens with him. Kane, any final words from you? Anything on your mind? How's life treating you before I let you go?
Life's good, man. The summer's not too good though, is it? It's a bit hit and miss, but you know we'll get there. I'm looking forward to the Euros. Not too confident on England this time round, but sometimes that's a good sign. You know, if you're not confident about something, who knows? Basically, I do think as a fan base, try and chill out. Obviously, I've got concerns, and people expecting someone to sort of fully trust Steidten. You can't sometimes, because you don't really know yet, do you? So I think that's fair enough. There's a difference between going, oh, I'm not too sure, I'm going to wait and see, and hating on the bloke, because there's some real weirdos. Sort of flag up a tweet where they said Tim Steiden's the most influential man we've ever signed. Shut up, man. That is so disrespectful. And I'm going to take the piss out of these people forever.
Do you know what it is? Well, and what you're saying, right? It's basically they're setting him up for a fucking fall if it goes wrong. And that's the thing I don't like. I'll be straight. People are blowing smoke so far up Tim Steiden's arse and saying that he's like God. let the fucking geezer do the job first, then judge him on his on what's been happening. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
He'll sign a player and they're like, where's the Tim haters? It's like, I'm pretty sure that the most weirdest Tim Steidten hater would assume that he was going to sign players, for God's sake.
yeah,
it's really weird. Let's stop this divide. I mean, I probably contribute.
there is no divide. But
yeah.
all I'm going to say for my behalf on E20 with me and all the boys, there is no divide now. The divide is done in my aspect. Tim Steidten has a job to do. Get to fucking work. Simple as that. I'm not going to blow smoke up this geezer's fucking Ringo and say he's the Messiah and everything when he ain't done fuck all yet. Like, let's get him in. Like, he's here. Let him work, and then we will know in a year's time.
Shout out to my man, WHUGL, my mate, my friend, hater of illness and divides. That's me.
Yeah, well, fair
That's
enough,
us.
mate. Do you know what I mean? But the way I look at it is with Steidten, he's got a major job. And the thing is, I think maybe it's just me of old, if I'm being honest, because I've seen these rebuilds before in the past. I've seen times where we've got a load of players in, it hasn't worked out, and we've been hit with flop. And people keep using the Bayer Leverkusen thing, saying, look what he done at Bayer Leverkusen. That's all well and good, right? And I know.
It's stupid, man. Like, I reckon he had a good say in it. He did some good work there, but they've got like Simon Ruffles and stuff. I think it's a bit stupid, and it shows they've not really looked into it. Not saying he didn't do anything good. He might have done a lot of good there.
He played his part. He played his part.
He played his part, but I'm going to say this quite politely. I don't give a fuck what he done at Leverkusen.
Yeah.
I care about what he does at West Ham United Football Club in the East End of London. That's what I care about. So it's going to be interesting. I'm liking the ambition of the younger players. Like if he's going for like Wesley and Lewis Guilherme, I rate all that. I really do. But for me, like you will know more in a year's time. Like because you can't judge him after the window and say, oh, he's good. Because aren't these fucking players? We don't even know how good they're going to be. Do you know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is. Kane, I'm going to let you go, son.
Otherwise, one last thing. National election coming up. I'm going to be voting reform with Irish Tommy. So let me go. That's bad.
You are a wanker.
I don't even know what that means.
I know exactly what it means. We are in a political thing at the minute, but Haynes just a twat. Let's get this man in quickly, see what he has to say, and then we'll wrap up, Lucas. Costa, how are you doing, my friend? What are you saying?
I'm on my lunch break. Hey, Lucas.
How's it going, bro?
It's going really well, man.
Lunch break, isn't it summer?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
So I'm still going to work.
Okay.
And I missed most of the show because I'm at work. But there's an ITK on Knees Up Mother Brown who was like a very famous ITK during like Allardyce Village times. And he's come back, and it's like limbs on that forum because he's returned after being away for basically the Moyes tenure and Pellegrini. Yeah. He didn't really have inside info, and now he's back. So people are speculating, but he's saying that the Fabrizio Bruno talks are back on. That I guess his wife has had a change of heart, something like that. So we're back in negotiations for him.
She's seen the pound signs. That's what she says. She's thought, look at all that fucking dough he's gonna earn. Yeah. Like, we're getting on the plane to the East End. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So that's the first one. The second thing he said is Lopetegui's number one target is Garcia, and he's personally taken that one on to try to convince him, which is probably why Steidten is comfortable staying in Brazil a little bit longer because Lopetegui's handling that. I also don't think what we're going to do is let it drag on until August 30th. I don't think we do that anymore. I think we're going to make an offer, and if Garcia picks Leverkusen, we'll know, and we won't let that drag. And then the one I was disappointed with, I don't really know how to say the kid's name, but I like him for some reason. It's Samu Omorodoin or something. I don't know. I have no idea how to say it.
The Atletico striker.
Bring.
Yeah. So the ITK said that we made an offer, it was rejected, and we're looking at other targets now. So maybe we went in too high with our offer. Maybe we should have offered less. I don't know. But we offered 25 or 30 or something like that. They said no, and I guess the negotiations didn't seem to go well, so we've already decided to move on to other targets. That was pretty much the update, but it's brand new. I think you guys were mostly talking about Guilherme on this program, so
Yeah.
I just wanted to pop in and see what you guys thought. I mean, it's nothing groundbreaking, but
Do you know what I'm loving? And it does fascinate me when I do speak to Americans. Obviously, that boy there is my boy, and I've known you for a long time, Costa. But when I see you wearing a West Ham kit in the US, it does it blows my
He's not American
fucking
to
mind.
me. He's as French as it gets. This
Mate,
guy.
he's as fucking American to me as possible. But I'm gonna be straight. When I see them, when I see you wearing West Ham stuff in the US, it does fucking baffle me because I think about it. I can get on a train. I can be at West Ham in like 15 minutes on the train. Do you know what I'm saying? From here, and I'm seeing you like thousands of miles away wearing the stuff. How are you, Costa, in yourself though? Life good?
everything's great. Lucas, do you know I'm expecting another?
No, you didn't say anything. Is this
Yeah.
groundbreaking news?
Another West Ham fan coming.
No. It's just that you haven't been to the pub in such a long time.
Oh yeah.
No offense meant.
Yeah.
You haven't heard the news all the boys have, and I don't see them telling you on separately. But yeah, no, baby girl in September.
Congratulations. We will be celebrating in Tampa with West Ham, so that will be fun.
Yeah. So I've also got the Jacksonville tickets now as well.
Okay.
So I'm going to both preseason matches, and the total cost of the Tampa trip, flight, tickets, hotel, was probably 3 times more than Jacksonville. Jacksonville, in comparison, is so cheap. My ticket, £40 at most.
Yeah.
My flight, £100 at most. And then my hotel, everything is half of what I'm paying in Tampa. But the reason I decided to even bother with Jacksonville is because our mate Darren said exactly where he was sitting. He said, I'm in 147, row 15, seat 7 or something. And I go on a Ticketmaster and I find the seat next to him is available. So I said, all right, I'm going to buy it and I'm going to surprise him.
Fair enough. I must admit, are you looking forward to that, Lucas? Them friendlies?
Yeah, I won't be in Jacksonville because I have a wedding to go to, and it's a difficult turnaround. But me and Costia will be together, and all the other DCIs will be together in Tampa. It should be an absolute party. That's going to be.
It'd be insane.
Tampa Bay watching the fucking boys.
And whoever that Liverpool guy is who wants to bring football matches to America, he can shove it because I'm paying almost 80-90 pounds for a preseason ticket in Tampa Bay. If they were to come over for an actual match, Lord knows, I would be paying quadruple what I would have to pay for a premium away ticket. It's disgusting.
That's extortionate.
It is.
Let's be real.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know, James. You might have a sense of this in it because the laws are so much, frankly, a little better in the UK. But in the States, there's pretty much one dominating company. They're called Ticketmaster, and they've been sued plenty times by sporting fans, but also concert goers and things because of their extortionate fees. And when you first log in and you're looking for the tickets, it comes out to £75, and you're like, all right, that's not too bad. And then when you get to the checkout, now you're at like 130.
That is a fucker. I would be going berserk, mate. I see if I was over there.
Just from taxes and fees, but mostly the fees.
Yeah, because I remember Lucas saying this about the taxes over in America. That like the tax gets added on at the end. Like you buy the product. Like say something's $10. Like you say, oh, it's $10, and you get up to the counter and it's like fucking $18. Shit, you know what I mean? And I'll be like,
now
I'll be.
In their defense, bad, there's a tiny little button in the corner when you're on Ticketmaster. It's so small. You can, if you click it, you could switch it to prices with taxes and fees.
Oh well,
But
fucking
you
give
have
it,
to, you
give
have
it,
to remember. You have to remember to do it.
Assholes.
give us that. Costa, I'm gonna let you go, mate, and enjoy
Yeah,
your day. I love
absolutely.
this.
Good to
I
see
love
you.
the sweatshirt. Keep,
Yeah, this
keep
is old. Look, it says. Does it say Alpha? No, it's Adidas. This has got to be eight or 9 years old at least.
Don't matter, mate. West Ham are vintage.
All right.
Anyway, take it easy.
Good to see you,
Peace.
bro. Take it easy.
That was Costa. Lucas, any final words, son, before we wrap this up?
No, just I'm ready for the window to be open. I hope Steidten picks and gets the right guys to take us forward. I hope Lopetegui gets a few players that he hopes and gets us over the line. Hopefully we push for Europe again. I don't think it's likely this season, but I'm excited. I'm always excited for when the window opens. And like Kane said, I'm excited for the Euros. Ready for Saturday noon for me. I'm going to a huge German beer garden in DC for Croatia, Spain with a few mates, and it should be a killer time.
Before we go, how busy would it be in America for the Euros? Obviously,
depends where you go. If you're in DC, it's gonna be lively for sure. Because obviously DC is one of the most international places in the world. So
yeah, but what nations will they be supporting there though?
It's gonna be a whole bunch. I've met people from England who have moved to DC. Shout out to Mike Snow, my guy. There's going to be lots of Spain. There'll be a good amount of England. There's going to be a lot of French, a lot of German.
Yeah.
Because you got to remember, there's people that are going to be over here on holiday because it's the summer. You got people that have migrated here. You got people that have migrated here, started families. So it's going to be huge.
Also, it's going to be players that they're following on, isn't it? Like if they follow a club, they're going to follow the nation, aren't they? So, you know.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Right. That's us done for today. You know what I mean? We've done an hour and a half. That's good enough. 90 minutes worth of entertainment value. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to E20 Zone TV. Hit the notification bell and all of that. I will be back on Thursday, hopefully, to do a Euros preview. Right, obviously we've done one the other week. Obviously, more news has come out. If Lucas is about, he can jump on with us. If not, no worries. And yeah,
we'll talk about the boys.
Let's hope that it's coming home to England. If not, please France, don't let me down.
Come on, the boys. Come on.
The fucking Croats, mate. Do you know what I mean? Joe, what? Use a 40-1. You know, 40-1.
I've already got money on France 4-1.
Yeah.
Absolute steal, in my opinion. England have only gone up. Again, your odds are a bit different to me.
Yeah.
But France were plus 400, and then England's plus 350. So 35 to win 100, something like that.
I'm small on England, heavy on France. I've got money on Holland and Croatia, and there's someone else in there. Portugal is the other one. So it's like France, Portugal, England, Croatia.
I think if Portugal, again, to save it for Thursday, I think if Portugal can turn things around, they're looking dangerous. That midfield could be unbelievable.
Yeah, I agree.
Not as good as Croatia, of course, but
but it is what it is. It is what it is. Anyway, I will see you again in the next one. Lewis Guilherme, Tim Steidten, West Ham United. We all love you. It is what it is, and we will see you again soon. Bush.